Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we have a quorum, so if you'd stand for invocation, please.
Have 6:29.
Just get on with it. Get on with it.
Somebody's calling.
Lord, we are here to do our work for the city. We pray that you will grace us with a wisdom that we may do our work righteously and justly. We ask that our efforts be judged by measurement of the end results. These things we ask in your honor and in your name. Blessed is the name of the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
We'll have a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A roll call vote.
Bush. Here. Dixon.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Jerry Gilliam, Von Gilliam. Here. Jarvis and Raleigh.
Here.
The first thing on the agenda is the minutes for March the 12th.
I'd like to make a motion that the minutes for March the 12th be tabled until on page 3, the highlighted part can be unhighlighted and not underlined.
We're last minute.
Oh, thank you. Because that should not be distinguished from anything else said.
Second that one.
Page 3.
Yes.
That should not be.
Okay. Got a motion? You got a
So they're
second?
not approved though, right? Tabled.
Table. The next minute.
All those in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Next item is the April the 9th minutes. Anybody have any comments, suggestions?
April the 9th minutes, I'd like to make a motion that we table that also until next meeting.
I'll second that motion.
What purpose?
There's things in there that's left out that should not be left out.
Okay.
Have to be more in depth. You can go back and listen to the recording probably.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to table the April the 9th. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
April 9th motion.
Did you second that, Charles?
Yes.
The next item is the financial statements.
Welcome, Ms. Hendrickson Enterprise.
They're a chemical prep.
Is this for chemicals or services?
That's chemicals, that is. That and C.I. Thornburg.
Cumberland Valley RECC.
That's where we have 2 pump stations, not one's down here at, below the nursing home. We have to pay the power on it, and then one out here on Sand Hill.
What's the service charge that you start between 2022?
That's something they've been doing, but then they reimburse it to us, the bank is. They turn around and the bank's been doing that, but then they'll reimburse us next month for it.
What's it, I mean, what is it?
We're not really even for sure, but they put it right back in the next month after it's taken out.
I've seen that on the utility authority.
Because Betty has to call like North Carolina to get it corrected.
What did Blue Light Enterprise do?
The air conditioning.
On the cover page for general fund, it says reimbursement for police car.
That's where the one was hit up Lynch, where it was rear-ended.
So it's from the insurance
Yeah.
company.
And it's been fixed.
What was the scrap, so what was that?
It's miscellaneous pumps and pieces of vehicles like just that was taken off of different items, pipes, wrought iron, rusted out. We just picked it up all over the city.
What is the overpayment and reimbursement here? $440?
Where you at?
I am on waterworks and
Oh.
sewer.
Well, that was for the roofing on the sewer plant. When he finished the job, we overpaid him $440, and he reimbursed us the money.
Okay. Then next item on there, we transfer from general funds, $1,500.
That was to pay the payroll. What was it? Where were you at on it?
I caught the end of that, I didn't hear what it
Okay,
said.
on water and sewage, my question, transfer from general funds, $1,500.
That's to go toward the payroll.
And transfer from MRA, $15,000.
Payroll.
Payroll.
So it went into the payroll account instead of the waterworks account?
Yes. And the payroll is where we're needing money, critical,
Yeah.
right now.
And we had to pay, if you'll see on there, we've had to pay C.O. Boggs about, I think it's probably right at $30,000 off the top of my head.
What for?
It's just a bunch of work he's been having to do,
When we get
coming over here and doing,
those type of bills, we need to see an itemized bill so we know what we're paid for.
Well, we can tell you, it's okay, we can, no problem. Yeah.
On the general fund out of the maintenance department, we've paid a little over $6,000 to Waste Connection. What was that for?
out of where,
Maintenance.
Landfill.
yeah, that's landfill.
But we don't pay the county for that anymore.
No, we don't. It goes to Waste Connection.
Now, the county has an account that we maintain for them, you might be, but that money is their money.
Yeah, that's just where it goes through for their garbage services. If you see,
So
like
the
Harlan
county
County.
doesn't own the landfill anymore?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
What about the, don't we get a percentage for collecting those garbage bills for them?
6%.
Where does that show up
It
at?
averages, we have now an account, it's all separate from the city, and we take it out and then it's left within that banking account. It averages about $600 a month.
So it don't show up on here?
No,
Where does it show up at?
It's
but we
in-
can put it on there. It's just in
Well, I
in
mean,
its own checking
That'd be
account now.
good, because that's money, income we got that we're
Money
not seeing.
receiving.
Yeah, we could put it on there.
So we got a separate account for it
Yeah, it
now?
has its own account now.
I would think it should be on the water sewer
Okay.
receiving account.
Okay.
Accounts receiving.
G&K Services, what's that? Is that?
That's the
Uniforms.
uniforms. It's payroll deductible.
So it's $199 for sewer, or for water, $163.07 for sewer.
That's taken right out of their check, that is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Payroll deductible thing. Colonial Life is the same way.
Is it standard that some months we pay one employee that gets a salary out of the administrative fund, and some months they get a salary with withholding?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what he means.
We pay one employee $600 a month, and this month he appears on employee earnings summary, but for the first few months of the year it came out of the general fund.
What's the name?
It's yours.
That's the mayor's salary?
Yeah,
Oh, my salary?
yeah. I didn't want to mention any names. I don't want to be sued.
Oh, it doesn't matter, mine's there.
August public record.
I was just confused about, because some months it appears on one of these statements, then this month it's popped back up on this statement.
Oh, this is just a copy of that. I mean, the information on here would be on that.
Yeah. These two papers actually just go together from end to end, right?
Yeah.
And then you got this on there.
Is there any more comments or suggestions or questions concerning the financial statement? If not, we'll move on. At this time, I'd like to have our attorney, Mr. Jonathan Lee, explain our trip to the Division of Enforcement, the Water Board at Frankfort, that we attended on this month. And if you would, Mr. Lee, I'd ask you to explain the letter, and let's say, did you all get a copy of the letter from Carrie Haas? Yes.
Before I speak to the council in public forum concerning litigation, I want to make you aware that one of the reasons for closed session is the discussion of proposed or pending litigation, and therefore I don't want to speak about your litigation without your consent to do so in a public manner, or if you want to enter into a closed session at this time.
So we discussed the public matter.
Well, yeah, because the water concerns everybody. It concerns all the citizens.
Yeah.
So you agree just to go ahead and discuss it?
Talk about?
Okay.
Okay. We received a notice via email to me from counsel for the Department of Energy and, well, the Energy and Environment Cabinet, Department of Enforcement, that they wanted to speak with us concerning pending litigation in the Franklin Circuit Court. That litigation is 12 CI 1074, a complaint that was filed on August 15th of 2012 and concerns the city of Cumberland, specifically the waterworks facility. At the meeting, or prior to the meeting rather, we were not really told a lot of information concerning what that meeting would consist of. This was in fact my first meeting with this party and these individuals. I had never met with them before, and we really didn't know what the complete and total cause of the meeting was. However, when we got there, we learned that basically due to the prolonged history of this issue, which, and correct me if I'm wrong please, I've only been familiar with this since about mid-April. Okay, and this goes back to, I believe, 2010. So you all are going to be much familiar with the factual things behind it than I am. So feel free to correct me if I say something that you know to be inaccurate. But in 2011, an agreed order was entered into with the Division of Enforcement for the Energy and Environment Cabinet with the City of Cumberland. That stemmed from violations that occurred on November the 1st, 2010, and at that point is when the city was made aware of those violations. As a result of those and the discussions that followed, you entered into an agreed order that stated, and I'm summarizing here, you're going to do so X, Y, and Z to bring the waterworks up to par, basically. And if you don't within the time limits that they stipulated to, there would be penalties as a result of that failure. The city did not bring the waterworks into compliance according to the complaint, okay? And everything I'm saying here, I'm not alleging is factual. Let me underline that, okay, because we're in a public forum and I'm saying these things. I'm not stating that this is fact, I'm stating that these are the allegations. So let's make that very, very affirmatively clear, okay? But again, the allegations state that the waterworks was not brought into compliance within the deadline, and therefore a $10,000 fine was imposed. That $10,000 fine was never paid. As a result of that, on August the 15th, 2012, a complaint was filed in the Franklin Circuit Court stating that you all, not you particularly, I don't know who did, I wasn't here then.
Thank you.
Yeah, not you.
Whoever.
Your counsel.
The city of
Cumberland.
The city of Cumberland. And agents thereof entered into an agreement. That agreement was not abided by. They're alleging that terms and conditions were not met, that the payment was not made of the penalties that they spoke of. And by the way, if anybody does not have copies of all this, I do now. I can give all those to you. I made copies of those. And they asked for the following relief, and I'm going to spell out the following relief because it's going to be important for what we're about to talk about, okay? They're asking for the following, that the defendant, City of Cumberland, be ordered to pay a stipulated penalty of $10,000 pursuant to the agreed order entered on December 15, 2011. That pursuant to KRS 224.99/010, the defendant, City of Cumberland, be ordered to pay an additional civil penalty of $5,000 per day for each day the defendant fails to comply with the terms of the agreed order on December 15, 2011. That the defendant be ordered to immediately submit a plan of action to be reviewed by the Cabinet describing how the facility shall comply with the agreed order entered on December 15, 2011. That the defendant be ordered to repair the control panel for the high service pumps. That the defendant be ordered to repair the flocculator in tank 2. Additionally, the defendant be ordered to assess the flocculator in tank 1 for repairs, and if repairs are required, the defendant be ordered to repair the flocculator in tank 1. And forgive my ignorance, I'm not familiar with these terms, okay, so if I'm misstating what these things are.
You said it right.
All right. The defendant be ordered to repair the flash mixer. The defendant be ordered to clean out and repair the settling basins. The defendant be ordered to clean the tube settlers. The defendant be ordered to provide proper operation and maintenance of the facility in accordance with the permit. The defendant be ordered to submit a revised distribution map to be reviewed and accepted by the Cabinet. The defendant be ordered to keep accurate copies of all logs, reports, manuals, permits, applications, and letters from the Cabinet on site for review during times of inspection, and that the plaintiff be awarded its costs expended herein and all other relief to which it is entitled. If you take notice of the complaint and the agreed order, a lot of the things asked for in the complaint were some things that were agreed to within the agreed order, most notably the $10,000 penalty, okay? Since the August 15th, 2012 date, I'm not aware of everything, but I'm speaking now of things that I have been told, okay? I do not know this factually. I've not seen any documentation, but I have been told that significant repairs, I'm sure you're aware of, have been made to the waterworks facility. Significant money apparently has been utilized to try and bring that facility up to par with the requirements mandated by this department. However, with that said, the Cabinet, the Energy and Environment Cabinet, are still stating that the waterworks facility is not in compliance, and that as a result of that, they have offered basically an ultimatum to the city of Cumberland. Okay, now this is simply what has been stated to us. Again, I cannot verify the validity of such things, but you know, I can tell you without hesitation that this has point blank been stated to myself and was stated to the mayor. He can speak for himself. He was at the meeting there. That if the city of Cumberland, the council, the mayor do not agree to the terms of settlement within this letter, which I will go over in just one moment, that they will seek a trial date for the litigation that is pending. Now, that should not be, I'm sure it's not anything new to you, because this litigation has been pending since August 15, 2012. They simply haven't requested a trial date to this point. What has occurred within the litigation is a complaint was filed, that is an initiation of a lawsuit, and an answer denying the allegations in that complaint was filed on behalf of the city of Cumberland. That is the last formal pleading that I'm aware of that has been filed by any party. Okay.
Excuse me, when did you say that was?
August 15th, 2012. An answer on behalf of the city of Cumberland was filed September the 4th, 2012.
Was that not when us council agreed with the mayor that we should put every effort forth to, is that the answer that we gave them, that we
wanted everything fixed.
Everything fixed? That was our answer.
If you're asking me, I don't
Yeah,
know.
No,
I
we're
was
just-
just
we're
doing
just
this
for-
in remembrance of us council. I remember that meeting.
Your answer to the complaint is extremely, not that it's not valid, it is. It's short. If you want me to read you what you
please do.
stated to them. The city of Cumberland is without knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as to the truths of the plaintiff's averments, and do hereby deny allegations contained in paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D, 6E, 6F, 6G, 6H, 6I, 7, 8, and 9 of the plaintiff's complaint. Basically, you denied all of those allegations. I did not create that answer for you, but it's a proper answer in that you're
Could I
denying the
see who
allegations.
signed that?
What's that?
May I see who signed that?
Certainly.
I don't remember anything
Because
about
we
that.
didn't, we didn't
We
know
never
about
agreed to
this.
anything.
That's, and I talked to Carrie myself,
Okay.
and I spoke with her about what our plans were to do, but nothing like this.
Well, I can tell you that procedurally,
Thank you. Thank you.
Procedurally, if you
Who signed that? Did Parker sign it?
yes, it did.
Okay.
Procedurally, if you do not respond to allegations in a lawsuit within a 20-day period of civil litigation, you can receive and will receive what is referred to as a default judgment. And therefore, quite frankly, you were, in my opinion, humbly, you were done a service by someone submitting an answer, because it gave you time to have a trial if you're going to have one, or to complete negotiations, because if you don't, the court just simply states that, well, they didn't submit an answer, therefore we are going to take it as if they're admitting to everything, and we can go ahead and submit a judgment against them if we feel it's proper.
I remember when he submitted that, I just was not aware of what was in it.
Yeah.
So an
I
answer,
had no idea it was going to be submitted, that form. That's not what I agreed to.
No,
we never-
we wanted to let them know, and this again, not, it's anyway towards you. We wanted to let them know that we were in full agreement to repair everything and not go into receivership. And evidently, that's not what's happening.
well, they are aware through, I'm not yet to the point about the meeting we just had.
Okay.
If you'll amuse me for just one moment, let me finish this letter. That's the last document that I have for you, okay? I received this via email. It appears as if a certified letter was sent to the mayor here. I don't know if they've received it yet through certified mail. You may have received it through email as I did, but nevertheless, a certified letter was sent to the mayor stating that the cabinet basically appreciates our participation in the meeting and coming and sitting with them to have discussion. And it states that the cabinet appreciates the city of Cumberland's willingness to reach a settlement agreement. However, I can tell you that it was emphatically stated that no one there had the authority to reach a a settlement agreement with them without council approval. So I think that was just a meaning, I'm going to infer that as meaning that we were at least amicable to hearing what they were offering. And basically what they were offering was that, and it states, this is the following Cabinet's final settlement offer. By Friday, June 14, 2013, the City of Cumberland shall provide notification to the Cabinet whether they agree to enter into a receivership with the Cabinet. Should the City of Cumberland agree to enter into receivership by July 14, 2013, Cumberland shall provide notification to the Cabinet of the entity willing to act as receiver for the drinking water plant, meaning that they are giving the City of Cumberland the opportunity to pick their own receiver rather than have a court appointed receiver without your input. And then C, following receipt of the receiver information, the Cabinet and the City of Cumberland shall enter into an agreement to resolve the outstanding Frankfort City Court action, Circuit Court action. In addition, the Cabinet shall be seeking payment for all outstanding civil penalties, including the stipulated penalty of $10,000 and $5,000 as assessed in the Frankfort Circuit Court action. If the City of Cumberland agrees to enter into receivership, the Cabinet may be willing to waive a portion of the entire $5,000 penalty assessed. Okay, that's the letter we received. At the meeting, they were informed of substantial improvements that had been made to the facility, that those improvements were ongoing, and that they were significant in cost and time. They were made aware of that, and they stated to us that they were already aware of a lot of those things. However, they stated that a CA plan needs to summarize what's going on specifically with dates and with issues going on with the facility. They wanted updates on water loss and that all of those things they wanted included in a corrective action plan. They spoke at length about a crash bar within the pouring room not meeting the requirements that the gentleman on the phone, and I can't recall his name, but he was someone who was there speaking to this lineup of individuals representing the Cabinet. He had visited here and was stating that the crash bar was not in the proper place, and I can't recall.
I think it
That's
was
probably
David
Mr.
Messer.
Messer, because he
Okay.
comes all the time.
It was mounted so that it can't be used, it didn't exist to where it would actually work, is what his words were over the phone, okay? The second flocculator, there are repairs that need to be made. A new winch was needed. That the corrective action plan needed to address the second tank. I'm assuming that means flocculator, okay? These are notes that I made as going. They were going to summarize. We asked for specifically a summary of all those things discussed and their specific wants and desires. Unless this is what they are stating is that summary, I have not received anything else. Okay, and this does not, in my opinion, summarize with specificity what happened at the meeting. I'm referring to the letter that I just went over with you. They wanted quarterly or semi-annual status plan updates, and that they had a big issue with mapping. Okay,
You got the distribution map.
right, that was not, they did not have any map currently. They spoke of violations, disinfection byproduct, chlorine violation in 2012. And then they spoke of a clock starting over again. You need 4 consecutive months without a violation. And if you don't have those, you're in violation. They spoke of a receivership and that the authority of the receiver would be very important. They actually, if I recall correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, said that they would include or get to us language of what they were intending to propose as receivership, because right now I do not have any knowledge of what type of receivership they are proposing, what the terms of that receivership are, and I can't emphasize enough that, I mean, zero information. I mean, other than just simply calling it a receivership and allowing the city of Cumberland to play a role in appointing who that receiver would be, I don't know any terms that would be within such a receivership agreement. They spoke of wanting to have, while the city of Cumberland could propose who the receiver would be, that they wanted to make sure that it was a company that, or individual or whatever, in whatever context it may be, that could actually handle the job, not just someone that had never had any activity or connection to the things that they are saying need to be corrected. And that was substantially what was stated at the meeting. If I could boil it down to a brief summary, which is not reflective of anybody's specific words, this is simply my interpretation of what was said. The litigation has been going on, if not litigation, pre-litigation since 2010. The waterworks facility is still not in compliance, and therefore they're either asking us to go into a receivership, or they're going to seek a trial date, in which case they would be asking the court to impose a receivership and to assess penalties.
The judge does have the authority, though, to give it back to the city if he sees that you are actually trying to repair those things. And my understanding is there's only two things, the crash door and the map, that is really in non-compliance right now.
I cannot detail to you what is not in compliance. I do not have access to that information.
Yeah,
I have access to
that's true. That's about the two major items right there that's not been taken care of. And then we have the crash door be fixed by our maintenance man's fixing that now. But the maps, we're well underway. We're working on them. Rural Water, Joe Burns and those people are making one map for us, and then the Cumberland Valley Ad Board has got a map that they're updating. And but the maps are the most serious thing.
That map is the map that Leo Miller started initiating to begin with.
I talked with the parties today, and they informed me that basically, if we take care of the map and the crash door, and when you speak of the maintenance fixing the crash door, according to them, it has to be someone certified to fix this door. It can't just be anybody, because we don't want to get in violation or fines again. But according to them, those were the two things, and that in order for us to stop receivership by, as you said, I think it was 14, that we should talk with the attorney tonight and let you know what the council decides, so that you can call them and tell them we don't want to go into receivership. We will fix the two items. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we do that. We'd let our city attorney contact them, let them know we don't want to go into receivership.
You have to more or less contract with who you're going to attempt to get these things
Yeah,
rectified.
that won't end it.
We would probably still have to go to court, but at least we would have something to fight. If we do this, we're not fighting for this city. We're turning this water over to anybody. And if you get somebody in here, if you turn it over to receivership, you hire somebody, this whatever his name that went down there in Frankfort with you, which does not represent the city to start with, and I don't know why he went, and I'll be honest with you, but okay, that's neither here nor there. If you hire him to run our waterworks, you're going to pay him $60,000 to $80,000 a year to sit around and run it, and then the city is not going to be able to utilize any of that money except in the water, in case you get in a pinch.
But other than that, we will have none of those funds. And
What was your motion, Charles?
to have our city attorney to let them know that we do not want to go into receivership. We will comply with their fixing the door, or what is it, crash bar?
It was
Crash bar and the maps, and let them know that basically we don't want to go into receivership. I don't know who Mr. Bunce was or why he was even there, but my motion stands for just to let them know we don't want to go into receivership. And if they want to set up a meeting with the council, I can't speak for everybody, but I would gladly be there, because this is just something we can't turn it over to them and
What is your motion though?
I already made it.
Okay. Have you got
Second
it?
that motion.
For him to contact them, let them know we don't want to go to receivership, and then we
Okay.
will
I'd
comply.
rather go and take a change on myself with the judge. And we could all show up.
Well, if we don't let them know by the
I mean,
15th, this is automatic.
I know.
You don't want
We don't want to lose our water system.
Okay.
We were
to, we have to,
unaware.
but they said we have to let
Would
them
you-
know by the Friday.
Would you reread the motion, Robin?
Raleigh made a
Do you-
motion that we do not want to go into receivership for the attorney to speak to them, and we'd do the corrections at the door and the mapping.
Is that the motion you got, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have a motion on the floor. Do you have a second, Mr. Jarvis?
And if I may, just so that and please don't take this as I'm trying to influence you to do something, I just want you to have every bit of information that I have. I have spoken with the League of Cities today, their legal department, about this issue as well. Waiting for really some more information on receivership. But the last thing that I heard from the cabinet, Ms. Saunier, the counsel for them, stated to me, please inform the council from us that we feel, and this is their words, this is not mine, but I think I have a duty to tell you this because it was represented to me. They feel receivership and the fine is a lighter penalty than will be assessed in court. That is their opinion. That is not a factual statement. It is opinion made to me by the cabinet, and they requested that I state that to you, and I now have done so.
It's always easier to not go to court before. That is always a stupid penalty.
It's always easier.
So we had a motion and a second. Let's have a vote
And
on
that
it.
was Kerry Haas, or maybe Johnson now
Johnson.
Johnson.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with a
Is Terry
second.
the one that told you that?
Oh, Ms. Saunier.
Have a roll call vote.
Bush,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Gilliam,
Yes.
Jarvis,
Yes.
and Raleigh.
Yes.
Mr. Lee, would you send me an info copy of your correspondence with that? If you send that out to them, I'd appreciate it.
You know, it sounded to me like there's a break in communication too, with some of the wording here that they was mentioning that not receiving reports. Was that in there, from the water plant?
And again, let me prep, these are my handwritten notes.
Let me say one thing. Some of those things are after the agreed order. I mean, some of the, like the crash bar, that wasn't in the agreed order, but that came up afterwards, and the things like that. And those things we were just, as they come up, we are taking care of them, like the CAP, that plan. He's working on it every day and bringing it up to date. But those things are that thick and they take a lot of time. And
So if we can go back, I think it might be prudent before we drop the issue, and which is why I read these things outright, go back to their complaint. This is what they're suing for. This is what they're asking to be remedied, okay, in their lawsuit, not in negotiation, not in anything else. That the defendant be ordered to pay the stipulated penalty of $10,000 pursuant to the agreed order.
Yeah.
In that agreed
Yeah,
order,
we knew about that.
that it was stated that if you were not in compliance, you meaning the city of Cumberland, not you individually.
Yeah,
the
we
city of
agreed to
Cumberland was
take care
not-
of that.
Right. That $10,000 would be paid, it's not been paid. They're asking for $5,000 per day as a penalty for each day that the city of Cumberland has not been in compliance. Okay. They're asking to immediately submit a plan of action to be reviewed by the cabinet, and I am unaware, not because it's being hidden from me, just because of my limited time involved with the case and my ignorance of the factual matters behind it. Because of that, whether or not the plan of action has been submitted, I don't know if that's.
That would be, you need to talk to Mr. O'Bradovich.
he's worked. That's one of the plans. He's got 2 projects up, and that's one of them. And
The defendant be ordered to repair the control panel for the high service pumps.
That's been done.
The defendant be ordered to repair the flocculator in tank 2. Additionally, defendant be ordered to assess the flocculator in tank 1 for repairs, and if repairs are required, Defendant be ordered to repair the flocculator in tank 1.
Those were supposed
Those
to be
were
done.
done.
The defendant be ordered to repair the flash mixer.
Done.
The defendant be ordered to clean out and repair the settling basins.
As far
Done.
as I know, that was done.
It's
This has
done.
all been
Just-
done, but has it been reported to the state that it was done?
It was, yes, it
It's been
has.
reported to
Yeah,
them?
yeah. They're
What
the
I don't
ones.
understand is why didn't Mr. Obradovich go with you? He is more
Well,
aware of what's going on than
they
anything
knew,
that's water plant.
they knew that these things had been done. They told us
They did
themselves.
say that.
David Messer, he's the inspector. He comes down here and makes sure they're done, and he tells them when they're done.
They said that they were aware that significant improvements had been made. They're aware of that.
Well, Mr. Messer and them it was made to my knowledge there that you thought we didn't have qualified enough personnel in the.
First 2 years we didn't. That's why we got in such a bad.
According to them now, that the personnel we have is some of the best they've ever seen.
That's
They said
good.
our
He's working
water
good.
is top quality right now.
And we're not $600,000 in debt that was reported to them. It's actually $120,000. So there was definitely some misinformation there, and Mr. Bunce,
I don't know how to
the guy
start
that
this.
went with you.
Wait. Let's not get alpha.
This is part of it.
Well, we've got a motion and a second on the
We've
floor.
already-
Let's go ahead and vote, and then we'll discuss this,
We did
okay?
vote.
We did
We
vote.
already voted
We
on
did
it.
vote.
Everybody was in
All in
favor.
favor? Okay, so the motion carried, right?
I've emailed Frankfort, and there's, hopefully
have
get back
too.
with me by next day or so. We got 5 days to get back with me on the things that they have requested, what's been done, what's not been done. Let's see what their answer is.
Mm-hmm.
And if they, I mean, see if there's, if they're getting the right line of communication.
But
Because
they did-
there's
When is that
a
reply?
lot of this is unwarranted fines. If we've corrected this, it's unwarranted for them to.
And they're willing to
be
knock off
pushing for all
most
this.
of those
The
fines,
only
as they
fine
said.
that they stated to us, and again, this is the only conversation I've ever had with these individuals, the only fine that they stated to us, which they would not relinquish, however they would take payments on, was the $10,000 fine that was agreed to in the agreed
Yeah.
order.
Right.
And the repairs were not made in time, and therefore they
Right.
state, that was agreed to, and we're going to.
So we could
try
maybe
to
set up a
enforce that.
payment terms on
Well, I
that.
mean, even that, if they had have had the proper response at the proper time, they would have extended that. They don't want to take our water.
We already told them
Promise.
the $10,000 that we would gladly pay. And you weren't here, that was naturally before your time, but that should have already been going on and taken care of. Council has agreed to do this stuff, and I've met them full aware today that we have actually voted on many issues of these repairs, and why they haven't been let know or notified, it's beyond me.
So you'll take care of the letter for them to
Certainly,
let
I'll
it?
write a letter.
Okay, then we'll just wait and see what happens, okay? Let's
There
move
was-
on.
There was supposed to be a meeting in May the 29th, and we had a memo in our boxes, so what happened at that meeting? Did you?
They were actually pretty upset you didn't show for that meeting. They were all there with their
That was,
attorneys.
you remember, I was going out the door, and Amy called me and said that they'd canceled the meeting?
Yeah, that was a meeting that they scheduled with my office without clearing a meeting space, and I had a conflict. And I informed them of that conflict. They just simply stated to me, you must be here on the 29th, and I had court. I had which is why they said, we'll reschedule that, no issue there. But as soon as we were made aware.
You got the notification yourself?
I can't speak to that, I don't recall off the top of
Because,
my head.
as far as I know, they actually did meet, but nobody showed up and come.
Yes, she told me they sat there and waited for us. But I was going out the door, and I got a phone call that said that the meeting had been canceled at 8 o'clock in the morning. But-
And this meeting happened. Actually, after that meeting, there were discussions that were placed between myself and Ms. Saunier. We connected through email several times, and we had never been told, as I stated at the beginning of this, what the purpose of the meeting was. In fact, the day of, I was trying to find out the purpose of the meeting. I didn't know what the purpose of the
Well,
meeting was.
did this city send them a letter saying that we would be interested in going into receivership? Because they had that impression before this meeting.
I'm not aware of
that you all went to.
that.
Yeah,
They
were-
recommended it. They did recommend we go in.
They did certainly recommend.
Yeah, I know, but did they think the city was interested in it before they went? Because the council's never voted on it.
Well, that's, I think we didn't let them know. We'd let the
That was-
council know.
That was part of my comment about the Mr. Bunce, going into receivership. He would be someone that would have a company that could run something like that. We were never made
We
aware
were
that
never made aware of it.
I'm not aware.
anybody was even looking into somebody like him, nor
Right.
would I have.
I'm not aware of any letter or any communication
There's none any that I know
stating
of.
that the city of Cumberland was willing or wanted to discuss the possibility of receivership.
So did you invite him to go down there?
Yeah, I asked him to go with
Asked
it
to go
because,
into receivership?
because I didn't know a thing about receivership. And he was polite enough to say he would volunteer to go with and act as a counsel.
I'm sorry, Chris Abravich should have went with you instead of a gentleman that knows nothing about her business.
Well, he's a
That's my
gentleman that
feeling.
does this to make money, so
Well-
naturally he'd be willing to go.
That's water under the bridge. No pun intended, but
No,
it's up to you now. You made your decision.
Well, it puts the council, we got a little memo that talks about the council not doing anything. Now I want the public and I want the paper to say, we are kept in the dark until we get these memos
Because we didn't know anything.
and we get
about
these
this.
letters.
Well, this,
I want it
this,
in the paper and I want the public to know it.
I notified you that we were
No,
going
you
up
did
there.
You told us you were going to Frankfort on the 29th.
Well,
We didn't go.
that's when we were
But
supposed to
anyway,
go on.
it's water under the bridge.
Okay. Let's move on and get some business taken care of here.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, the next item, I think this is enough we could go ahead and proceed with this. I think we've done enough on this project here to move on to the next item, haven't we? And the next item is the budget. It's a draft copy. I don't expect you to do anything. It's got my cover letter with it.
Which one is the correct one? I got two that day.
Did you give them
Well,
two?
we got, we're talking about this one, and
This
it's
one
got
or this
the
one?
parcel in it. For you.
Oh, this my backup here.
Yeah.
Did you give them that too?
Yeah, you give it to me, tell me copy of it.
No, I left this one here.
Yeah, they've got that one.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got both of
Two
them.
different amounts?
Because this one has the ordinances for the rate increase in it, that you wanted to
Now,
know.
here's the ordinance.
Yeah, that.
Okay. Okay, that's our auditor has a copy of this ordinance, the budget ordinance, okay? He's reviewing it, and he will tweak it out for us, make any kind of corrections to any kind of mistakes that we made, and he'll give us his opinions and suggestions on it.
Which one is it?
Because that one in your hand right there
That's
is,
the correct.
that is actual, figures that we have spent and taken in.
And this one is,
And that one is the proposal to cover the things that we're gonna need, correct?
Yeah, I guess that's what this is. I don't know. I'm lost. This is what you're supposed to have had. A copy of this ordinance right here. That's just a draft copy of an ordinance for the fiscal year 2013 and 2014.
no,
No, the other one, Charles, right there.
this one?
No,
This one.
that one. And it's got all the employees' hourly wage, what department they're in, and everything in the backup of it. It's got our debt service in it, each department's revenue and expenditures.
So this one.
So this is the correct.
this
Yeah,
one's
that's to
full.
sort of get you
No,
going.
that one there, Charles, all that pertains to is the letter on top of it. That stuff on attached to it is what I was making my notes and things from.
Okay.
That's all this is on the back of this letter here. I had stuck my backup information on this just for my knowledge. It's just trash papers is what it is. I didn't intend for you to get that, okay?
Okay.
But it's just where I got my information from, okay? And like I say, the auditor's got the ordinance. He'll be reviewing it. He'll tell us what we need to do to make any changes to it. And then we'll need to get 2 quick council meetings so that we can discuss them and approve them. First reading, second reading, and then they have to be within 2 separate days. That is if we can get it done, okay?
Can we have those meetings late enough in the afternoon, maybe some of us can come to them?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely not.
Yeah, just tell us
Ten
when you,
o'clock
10
in the
o'clock in the
morning.
morning on a work day, right?
just tell us when you wanna have them, okay?
I'd say
But don't decide now.
6:30.
Oh, you wanna make it, oh, that's good, that'd be
Let's do it.
great.
That would be the best time because everybody's usually off work and had a
Let me
chance
work.
to get home and change.
Put this, take it down in. What days you wanna have it? We need the 2 different days. The first reading and second reading. The first reading will be a workshop and a reading, okay? The first reading where you don't have to vote, but we do need to go through the ordinance and have a reading.
Well, first of all, we can't do that until the author looks at it.
Well,
So why should we make,
When is he supposed-
why should we make count?
When is he,
we faxed it to him today, and
So he should let
we
you
told, we'll have it back next week.
well, as soon as he lets you know,
Yeah,
let us know and we'll go ahead and schedule
Let
it.
us know, we'll do one, but that's
Okay,
no
That way,
point.
as soon as he lets you know, we'll have the correct information. We won't have to
We
be
just-
hung up on it.
We're just setting the time of what time of the day.
But
we
6:30
think.
is the time. I mean,
we'll,
6:30.
it'll be, make a point, 6:30, okay?
Question, but we can't bring it.
On whatever day they choose, all right?
They use them on
May I ask you a
vacation
question
time.
in private? May I
while
ask
you're
you a
doing that, I'm
question?
gonna fix her time.
Can we get through these 2
Just
res?
one quick question.
Okay,
One quick question.
Robbie tired stuff up.
It don't work. They went out of business.
Can you,
Let it hang right
There you
there.
go.
At least it won't kill you.
yeah. Okay, I will tell you later, Mayor, what I asked him. I didn't want to ask him publicly. Private question. Okay.
yeah, okay, we have 2 ordinances here. We're about $135,000 to $140,000 short a year for our water and sewage plant treatment. Now, as part of the things that we have to show the Division of Water, the efforts that we're making to correct the situation here, we're going to have to increase our water rates from $16.25. That's just not an adequate amount of money
Did
to
you
charge.
get that in writing if they want us to do it?
No, I didn't get it in writing. I
They
don't
can't
have,
tell us, Mayor. They can recommend, they cannot tell us to do it.
okay, okay.
From looking at what we've got in the budget, you've actually got, in some places, we can save money without having to raise the rates.
Well,
There's several places we can cut.
And then I see we got, is it the alcohol tax on here?
yeah. mhm.
Yeah.
And another
We've already
thing,
discussed
yeah,
that.
are we getting, from the landlords, are we getting what we're supposed to be getting?
No, we're not, no.
Well,
See,
there's
that-
money we're
We need to
missing.
get money
I
from
mean-
there.
Before we raise rates, let's collect from everybody.
Yeah.
Do you remember those came here? Oh, don't you remember the night they came here and y'all said
I
that?
remember that now, but
Yeah.
that doesn't,
We
that's,
said
we're talking
collect.
about the water. I'm
Okay.
talking about their privilege license.
Privilege.
Are they paying them?
There's landlord
No,
privilege,
See?
there's
that's
a lot
That
something-
needs enforced.
that's
some
something he
delinquent
needs to
taxes.
address.
Everybody paying a privilege license.
there's.
Oh, no, everybody's not paying a water bill. But if we
That's
just
what-
find out who
Well,
they
I
are,
mean,
you know.
That's something that we
But-
need to address with him. He needs to look at the ordinance and see, because we need to get that
I
money.
agree.
A law is a law.
It
I
will keep us
agree.
from having to
What's the
raise
purpose of
rates.
having
It will, yeah. I agree.
You all officially asked me to do
Officially
that.
asking you to
less
do
than
that,
that.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
vote on it?
There's a water.
What was that?
Carl, if you could get, like they asked, was it Division of Water to, give you an, estimated what our water should be, and in writing, and see what they say. But,
I've done that. I did it 6 months ago, but there's no way ever. I'll get it.
okay,
I sure will,
get it,
yeah.
get it in writing.
Like
Well,
delinquent property
Send it
tax,
to the fire department.
$14,000.
The economy is terrible.
You know, things, it all adds up
And
to
on
keep,
the back,
you can hit 100-some thousand real quick.
Yes,
The depression.
I mean, we need to look at cutting down and
I'd
collecting.
to see how much our
Yeah.
sewer
You will
bills
have-
go up.
Well, but, okay, you got the ordinance there in front of you, just take it and make any kind of changes you like. We'll get it back from the auditor. We got the 2, you've got these 2 for the water increases here
And so,
and sewer, so take take those, look them over, and tell us what you want to do on them, okay?
What was that in top, what next week,
It
in
was
the something?
stapled here,
That's what,
it was
okay, that's what I was
budget.
thinking.
Now, where's my, that's all I got for that. That's all I got, so
Good.
everything's taken care of. Let's see, we have any, right now,
Budget.
John said he wanted to speak.
who,
John Dixon.
we have guests, we have,
Council comment?
It's a big old wash
I'd like to make a couple of appointments here real quick. One is for Planning and Zoning Commission, Mr. Rodney Stacy. He lives in the town here, and he's volunteered to serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission. He lives in Fairview. He's a pharmacist. Do you have any problems with me appointing him to that position?
Nope.
Okay.
Do they have, are they having meetings right now? Planning and zoning?
When they need to, when we call them for special meetings or things, they come in and Mr. Dixon and them
So he'll make, how many will that make you have on that
before.
with Mr.
We need
Stacy?
5, yes. We got John, Jack
Artie.
Creech, Artie, and, well, that's it. And
Can you
then
put
4
them
with
in
Rodney's.
Rodney.
our boxes, please, so we can have.
Do
them
what now?
for
I'm sorry.
Make a list of
List
those,
and
put them in our boxes, so
we
we know who's on what board, because we do have a lot of blighted properties and stuff we need to look at. We don't have to take care of it tonight.
Do I hear an approval? Anybody?
I make a motion to appoint Mr. Rod Stacy to the Planning
I'll
and Zoning
second that.
Commission.
All those in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And the next appointment, that is for a period of 3 years. That's what the Planning and Zoning Commission people serve.